People didn't believe in him, so we don't know if this time around he'll prove himself as not necessarily the best coach, but a decent coach, right? So Ten Hag finally in Bayern Leverkusen is a here we go, right? Based on initial conversations. So Ten Hag's finally in Bayer Leverkusen. That is a here we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you think this is a job that suits him? And if so, what are your expectations? What are you looking forward to with Ten Hag being at Leverkusen?
I think for Ten Hag, people would say he was not judged fairly when he was in
Mm-hmm.
Man U.
Mm-hmm.
Man U is a bigger club. There's more pressure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that was riding on him being in Man U, right?
Yeah.
And Ten Hag is more of a developmental coach
Mm-hmm.
than anything. So, like I said, the only issue Ten Hag has is do not allow him buy the players. Buy the players for him. Let him work with them.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Tuku. Tuku is not good at buying players.
You think so? Tuchel is not good at buying players.
Yes. The first transfer window we had, that was one of the reasons we had some of the deadwoods we had.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tuku was the one, the owner was, and Tuku were the ones that are really buying players. And Tuku was always like, I'm not the best person to buy players, right? It's not my strongest suit. I just want to coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to do. I just want to coach. I'm not interested in, I don't have the mental strength to handle buying of players and sit down with you. Just buy me this profile of players and be done. But then the owners did not know what players. So there are coaches like that are not really suited for like being a manager.
Yeah.
They are just best as coaches.
They're just great coaches. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll see. So the thing now is if he goes to Bayern Leverkusen and he succeeds, he goes there and keeps winning trophies and he
Mm-hmm.
finishes in top three in the
Mm-hmm.
Bundesliga or top four, then that means he was he was a good manager for Man U. The
That
problem
means
was
the,
not from him.
but the Prem is not as, I guess the Prem is more competitive compared to like the German league. So it shouldn't be too crazy for him to
But it
succeed there.
doesn't matter. You see, it doesn't matter, right? Um Conte went to Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
People will say he failed, but I won't say he failed. He was bigger than the club. They were not suited. The mentality was not there. The winning culture was not there,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he went to Napoli. He won the title by one
Yeah.
point. We might argue that it's just 1 point, but it's still
No,
difficult.
he won. He won,
Yes,
right?
he's
And he's
running
also won. He
against
has also won
Inter.
the EPL with you guys, right? He has won
Yes,
the.
he won the Premiership with Chelsea. Won three Premierships, three like Italian Premier Leagues, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. So it just depends. You might go to a club, although now he's fighting with the owner,
Mm-hmm.
the current owner, and there's rumors that he's going to leave, and so there's so many things, right? So yeah, that's
That's
more. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
And
actually
you
looking.
you heard the news that the coach of Inter Milan, is it El Ali or something like that,
Al Hilal
Al Hilal have an agreement with him.
of Inter Milan.
Yes,
Who? Unzagi.
Inzaghi
Inzagi.
is set to move to Saudi Arabia after the Champions League.
What? That is very strange.
Very weird story.
Unless they are paying him so much money.
He's going
That
to be
money
the
has to be.
highest paid coach in the
Of
world.
course, of
Just
course.
like, bro,
If
are you
if I get
anyways?
the why not? Why who wouldn't want to go to
Anyways, for
Saudi
you know one thing, for coaches it's okay. After all, Nuno went to Saudi,
and came
then it's
back?
back to the Premier League, right?
Yeah,
You go there, you cash out, get some bag,
get all
then
the
you come
money.
back, get yourself set up. Maybe after he goes to El Ali, I mean
Al
El
Al
Attihad or what?
Hilal.
Yeah, El
Is it
Ali
Al
or what?
Hilal or Al Ittihad? Let's confirm that while you're talking.
Yeah.
Let me confirm that.
So after he goes to Saudi, he'll probably come to the Premier League, right?
You think so?
Yes, and I feel like imagine Inzaghi being the coach of Man U. He's really good. right? So
So he actually doesn't want to talk about the move.
yeah, he doesn't want to talk about the move,
He shut it down over like
but
ahead of the Champions League.
even Osimhen is going to
Saudi?
Saudi too.
You
There
think
was a
Osimhen is going to Saudi?
there was a picture leaked today from their store, Play Store, with Osimhen with their jersey,
What?
but it was immediately removed
Oh,
after
because
like
Osimhen
an
is in advanced talks
after
with
like
Al
an hour.
Hilal, a
Yeah,
Saudi pro club, for a potential move this summer. Reports suggest Osimhen, who is currently on loan in Galatasaray from Napoli, has turned down offers from other clubs, including Juventus and and possibly Premier League sides like Chelsea and Man U. Al Hilal is reportedly willing to meet Osimhen's financial demands and potentially offer a lucrative contract to secure his signature. But you can't really blame Osimhen when clubs are not willing to pay what he personally feels like he deserves.
is what you're right.
Because at this point, check it out. The club that was willing to sign Osimhen was what? Chelsea. Chelsea came with an offer lacking.
Peanuts,
It
peanuts,
wasn't good enough.
peanuts,
The other
peanuts.
offer wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it
So
was peanuts.
Chelsea pretty much is out of it. And
Yeah.
then you have hey Jordan. Then you have um then you have people like Al Hilal that are willing to pay a lot of money
Mm.
to him, especially the money that he's looking forward to getting um weekly, his weekly
Yeah.
salary. So I
Yeah.
don't blame him for considering that offer. Who wouldn't want to go to Saudi given how
True.
much they are
True.
willing to pay, and and how much you know although it might not be the most comfortable place because Jordan Henderson went there and then he couldn't stay there and then he ran it all the way to Ajax.
The heat. He wanted
Yeah.
to play for England. Did
Mhm.
did Tuku pick him in the squad?
As Tuku already picked his squad, he has,
He's
right?
picked his squad. No single Man U player is there.
No single Man U player.
First time in their maybe in their history or something like that. Very funny
No
start.
way.
No, see, he went and is collecting ex Chelsea players everywhere.
Wow.
That's what he's doing.
Let me
Even
see
Tony,
Tuku's
he
England
invited
squad.
Ivan Tony that is in Saudi.
He recalled him, yeah.
He called Tony, right?
Because he wants
So
to win.
Rich James, Chaloba, he just packed Chelsea players there.
Wait,
Um,
wait. Wow. Oh, he has
yeah,
actually picked his squad. His defenders. We have
yeah,
Trent Alexander-Arnold,
yeah,
Dan Burn,
yeah,
Loba, Levi
yeah,
Colwell, Rhys
yeah.
James, Ezri Konsa, Miles
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly, and Kyle
Perfect.
Walker. Well,
Yeah.
that's a good defense. Then
Good. Yeah.
goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers, you believe. Dean Henderson,
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford, James Trafford. And then his midfielders, you have Jude Bellingham, Eberechi Eze, Conor
Rice.
Gallagher, Morgan Gibbs White, Jordan Henderson, Curtis Jones, Cole
He picked.
Palmer, yeah, Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers. And then
That's a solid pick.
wow, and then
That's the best
his
forward. Let's see.
forwards, he has Anthony Gordon,
Yeah.
Harry Kane, obviously,
Yeah.
Noni Madueke, Bukayo
Oh,
Saka,
he picked
Ivan
Noni.
Toney, he picked Noni Madueke, Ivan Toney, and Oli Watkins.
Not bad. Not
Wow,
bad for
this
forward
squad is
line.
decent, but do you think this is
But I feel like the front is still lacking.
is this just for qualifiers or is this for the World Cup
No, it's for.
or
No, I don't think this is for World Cup.
this is just for qualifiers, right?
Yeah, I
Because
think
I
it's for
think
qualifiers. Yeah.
let me see World Cup qualifiers. England have been drawn in a five-team. Tuchel's England side have been drawn in a five-team Group K, which also includes Serbia, Scotland, okay, and Scotland is in that group. Wait, I'm trying to see what the group is. But anyway, that's not the point of the. I guess that's not the point of the stream. But it's quite interesting, though. I think
Yeah.
it's really interesting the squad he chose.
Picked a really solid side.
I
And
think it's pretty decent.
yeah,
Do you think there's someone that is on here that you don't expect to be on here, or someone that is
no,
not here that
all
you
of
expect to
them
be
they
here?
deserve to be there.
Is there somebody that you feel like deserves to be here and they're not here?
No.
No, no English player. No, no, no.
All the people that they deserve to be there, no other person should be there. Maybe Nick Pope in place of James Trafford. But
Hmm.
James Trafford is better with his feet.
True. And
They already
obviously,
they already have the guy in Everton, Pickford. He's a good shot stopper. So why are they going for Nick Pope again?
he's going to play like a 3-3-5-2 or 3-4-3-4-3.
No, he might play four at the back, but he has a lot of defenders. No Maguire this time. Thank
No
God.
Maguire.
Thank God.
Actually,
He,
no
he
Maguire.
was worried.
I wonder what this guy's squad
But man,
was.
which other English players do they have? They don't have
Man,
any other English players, right?
they have, is Mount not an English player? Oh no,
No, man, please.
it's not good enough.
The world has moved on. It's
Fair,
garbage.
fair.
So
But,
that's it. So
but good.
moving to other things, a lot of transfer news hitting up badly.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting up. So the biggest debate I have is why does Liverpool want to spend 100 million on Florian Wirtz? Why?
Why? The question
I
is
don't
why not?
I don't feel it suits you guys.
You don't feel Florian suits the Liverpool team?
No, spending that amount of money.
But FSG, they've been known to not really spend that much. I mean, the last striker or forward we spent a lot of money on was Darwin
Nunes,
Nunes.
and didn't
And we
work
spent
out.
like, it didn't work out. We spent like 95 million or 96 million on Nunes.
But you spend
But
on Van Dijk, it worked out.
we spent on Van Dijk, it worked out.
Alisson, it worked out.
Alisson, it worked out. Yeah, I think hit or miss, right? But
Mm.
think about it. Florian is good.
I think
I,
he's there to replace Salah.
you think so?
Yes, I'm so sure. I'm 100%.
Really?
Or they want Salah to be the striker and he will play on the wings. Because Florian
Hmm.
Wirtz can play as a right winger, right?
Yeah, he can play all through, right? He can play the
Yeah.
right winger, left winger. He can
So
play
he will
as
probably
a
play as
attacking
right
midfielder.
and
Mhm.
Salah will be up front.
You
So
think
you
so?
guys,
Salah is
yes,
not bad. Salah is not bad as a striker, and that's not unusual for wingers to kind of transition into some
especially
sort of
when they especially when
striker.
they get older, right?
Especially when they get older, like Ronaldo did the same thing.
Exactly. So
Even Messi started playing more central as he was
central, it
getting
might be
older.
the best time to,
Yeah, because you need pace on the wings.
yeah.
And if that person is not offering you pace, it's just kind of like, yeah.
There's no
And
point.
Salah is more of a playmaker than anything. So it's more like you want Salah to be in the middle, somewhat of a false nine to
Yeah.
find that pass. And you have guys like Florian and maybe Gakpo and Luis Diaz can fight for that spot. If Luis Diaz doesn't take the offer to go to Barcelona for 85 million, I think that's how much you want to sign him for.
85.
Yes, sir.
Damn. 85.
Yeah.
You guys will probably sell him to Barcelona and get Florent. No wonder. And get
Mhm.
Florent with then Salah moves up front. That's
Yeah,
done.
it could be a very great situation to be honest if
It's
you
a
actually work out well
better option for you guys.
compared
Florent Wirtz
to
is better than what's his name?
but than who than Luis Diaz.
Yeah, he's better
Yeah.
if he
So
plays well in the Premier League.
do you think he will struggle in the Prem? I don't think so.
That's the problem. You see, any player coming from outside is a gamble. I'm not really sure, especially German league.
You think so? But the
I'm,
players we've had from the German league have not been bad. Ryan Gravenberch came from the German league. He's cooking in the midfield.
okay, you see,
Endo came from Stuttgart. He's cooking in
he's not
the.
really
He's
cooking.
not really cooking, but he's
He's
solid.
he's burnt food already. So
No, Endo is not bad. No. Endo is
you
cooking.
see,
Endo just doesn't. Endo just cannot play the style of play that in the nature that what you call it, and his slot will want him
slots
to play like that Gravenberch kind of role because slot it feels like he's playing like an 8 and a 6 together because
together,
Gravenberch doesn't feel like a 4. I don't
more
know.
like a six.
It's more like he's looking to move the ball forward. He's looking to transition the ball as fast as like get the ball, make that turn,
Yeah,
and pass. That's what he does most of the time, and then intercepts any play. Right? It's
yeah,
almost like a more advanced Fabinho because Fabinho on that club system felt more like a holding, like a 4.
yes. But Fabinho was a
He was
four.
there to. He was just
Was a
roaming
four, but
around.
you guys were always using a three-man midfield then,
Yeah,
compared to now that you people have two people sitting.
Yes,
right?
like that double
Then it
pivot
was
midfield.
3-4, 4-3-3, 4-3-3.
Four
That
three
was
there,
Klopp
and Fabinho was that
in the
holding,
middle. Yeah.
and then the other two, like Klopp plays with 2 8s. Or am
Mm,
I confusing it? Either he plays 2 8 or he plays with an A6. Sorry, he plays with a 6 and an 8, actually. That's how
mm,
club system is, like a 4, a 6, and an 8, where the four is sitting, which is
yeah.
Fabinho, looking to intercept and break up plays. The
Mm,
6, which is Thiago, when Thiago was still at Liverpool. Thiago is looking to do what Gravenberch is doing now, advance the ball forward, find that pass, and you can also help break up plays if necessary.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
you
yeah.
have the 8, and the 8 typically used to be Jordan Henderson, where Henderson is trying to be more
Forward.
advanced.
Yeah,
And that was
yeah.
what Soboslai was brought for, to play more like an 8. And
But now he
McAllister,
plays as a 10.
yeah, he plays like as a 10.
But I don't think he's creative enough to be a 10.
You don't think so, right?
No. Maybe Florian Wirtz can play as a 10. He's
As a
more
10.
intelligent than him,
Mhm.
right? So
It's
now, yeah.
also, I think Florian coming in, Frimpong coming in, Kekes. I think Kekes is also something that we might sign to.
Yes,
It's looking very solid
the
that Kekes
deal
will
is
definitely
he's
come
told
in.
the Bournemouth players bye bye. He's
Yeah, it's
going.
almost like giving a sign off of like, yeah, I'm about to dip. But having those players in the system, I think is something that will be, really, really good for Liverpool. And I'm really curious. I mean, they're getting us really excited, but I'm really curious to see how Arne Slot to set up the team ahead of next season, because I know he wants to have a preseason. He wants us to sign with players as soon as possible, close the deals, so
Okay,
he can
quickly so that I can
so he
train them.
can train them into that system and blend them into how he wants to play, and that will help him, as we move on into next season, which is a smart thing to do. Close the deals as soon as possible. But 100 mil
I,
is a
I
lot of
think
money.
100 million is too much for a player.
Mm,
Too much, too much. It's
yeah.
too much as a for a player. And that's the thing now. Like Chelsea going to spend. Also, you talk about Chelsea. You've heard of Hugo Ekiteke
Well, I've not, I don't really know him as a
for
player.
Stuttgart.
Is he really Stuttgart? What does he play? Let me look up
He
his
plays as
profile.
a striker,
Go Eti.
but you
Oh,
can check him out.
Etiquette.
But
Okay.
okay. First of all, Chelsea has qualified for the Champions League. Then
Mm-hmm.
is Hugo Ekiteke you are going for.
Should go for somebody bigger, all right, more profile.
Yeah, Eucharist is there. There are other people there that you could go for,
But he's not bad
right?
though. This season he had a decent season. This
How many
season
goals?
he scored 22 goals in
Mm,
48. He has 48 appearances, right? He scored 22 goals and he had 12 assists. It's not bad.
that's poor
You think it's poor?
for 85 million. Eucharist, bring up Eucharist. I'm sure Eucharist has up to 60 something goal involvement, and he's just going for 65 million. 65,
Oh my goodness.
65.
I now see why people are going for Gyökeres. Oh
People are
my
not really
days.
going for him. That's the
People are
problem.
not going for him. Why?
Yes. I don't
Why?
know. The reason they're not going for him is because he's been to the Premier League before. Obviously, he went championship and before he went to Portugal. Oh, he might flop. I'm like, bro, he's not flopping anything. A goal scorer he was learning then. It's just like when De Bruyne was in Chelsea and he didn't do
Bro,
well or he wasn't
bro.
playing. Then he
I
went
think
to Germany.
people are sleeping. Okay, let's let's
Just
let's talk
like
about let's talk about his championship run, right? Let's talk about championship
mm,
run. In championship, right? To be
yeah.
honest, not the best, right?
How
He
many goals?
had 55 appearances. He scored 23 goals, and
That's not even bad.
he had 12 assists.
That's in the championship. Oh no,
Yeah.
he's a finisher.
And then he went to Portugal, right? That was
Yeah.
the season before this one. He was in Portugal. He appeared in 51 games, 51
Mm,
appearances. He scored 44 goals and he had 14 assists.
damn it. In
And
fact,
then wait, let me pause here. This
this
season,
season will be 60 something, I'm sure.
57 appearances. He scored 63 goals and he had 17 assists. This is a
63 goals.
Yes. In
See,
fact, in their actual league, he scored 39 goals out of 33 appearances and he had 7 assists. I don't know if the keepers in the Portuguese leagues are basket. I don't know if they just lack keeping abilities, but
No, but Kingsley
this goes beyond that.
in the
This seems like
championship,
somebody that is crazy.
he scored 23 goals and had 17 assists.
That's still quite high.
That's 40 goal in. So he's been showing the sign. So I'm
Mhm.
just wondering why are people Arsenal should be in Gyökeres house now in their
Gyökeres,
living room.
he has like 1.25 goals per 90. So like if he plays in a, he has 1.48
He has almost the
GA per
ability of
90.
scoring 2 goals in a match.
Yes, there's a high chance that if Gyökeres is in a match, he will get a goal
That's Messi stats.
or an assist.
That's Messi stats. I hope you know.
Yeah, about well,
Is the
almost
same
about the
stat?
same.
Okay, let's check Haaland. The stat is not far off from Haaland,
It's definitely not far from Ireland.
right? So
That is actually
that kind
crazy.
of player you now talk of
This season, was it a good season or bad season for Haaland? Well, doesn't even
it was a
matter.
bad season for Haaland.
If this was a bad season for
This is
Haaland,
his worst season.
then Haaland is insane because this season Haaland scored 38 goals and he had 5 assists and he appeared in 50 games. He had 50
This
appearances
is one of his worst game
across all competitions, but he played 31
Premier
Premier
League.
League games and he scored 22 goals. That's still
That's
quite
not bad.
high.
That's high.
Well, last
That's
season,
high.
was Haaland's arguably Haaland's best season.
Yeah.
Last season, Haaland appeared in 27 Premier League games. He appeared in 31 Premier League games, just like this season,
Mm, mm.
and he scored 27 goals and he had 5 assists. But in total, he had 53 appearances. He scored
Maybe.
47 goals and he had 6 assists.
Kingsley, there's nothing I want to say. Like, and you talk of there's another guy in Germany that Arteta is obsessed about, just as he's obsessed with Harvard. He's obsessed with that guy.
It's like he likes German forwards.
Leipzig. The guy's in Leipzig.
Leipzig, striker in
Yeah.
Leipzig.
Yeah. What's
Do you know
his
what his
name?
name? Do you know what his name? His name is
Just type Leipzig striker to come up. But
Leipzig.
this guy, Arsenal wants that guy. They almost
Why?
signed him last summer. I don't know why. And people, the thing that is paining me now
Oh,
is that
Chesco, right?
yes, Benjamin
Sesko.
Sesko. People are not going for
Sesko.
Gyökeres. I'm just like, and he has a release clause of 65 million.
Mm.
65 million. Like, that's it, 65.
Let
I'm
me
like,
actually check Sesko's footy stats. I just want to know how great he is. Well, Sesko, well, in the Bundesliga this season, let me see, what
yeah.
was last season looking like? I don't know why he's going for this guy though. Anyways,
How
in the
many?
Bundesliga, he 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 played 33 games
Mm,
and in actual Bundesliga games and he scored 13 goals and he
13
had 1-3 and he had 5 assists. But
this season.
in
This
total,
season.
in all competitions this season, all competitions including Champions League, everything, he has 53 appearances, 26 goals, and 6 assists. I, I just
That's not good at
I
all.
just come when you compare it to Gyökeres, it's just
The Ekiteke is much better.
even Ekiteke is much better. It's nowhere near.
Ekiteke had almost 17 assists, right?
Yeah.
How many assists did he have?
Wait, is it no? That was Gyökeres.
Okay.
Ekiteke, that was this Haaland. Let me close Haaland stats so I can focus on the two. But
It's
Ekiteke
just
he had what 12 assists this season.
12.
Yeah,
That's a
and
lot
he
for
didn't even play Champions League in Europa League in 12 games. He played 12 appearances in Europa League. He scored 4 and he assisted. Yeah, he has 3 assists, 4 goals, 3 assists in
that's
Europa
not
League,
bad.
which is
Yeah.
not bad. Like in
Yeah.
so seven GA out of 12 games is actually
Mm,
not too bad. Although he
yeah.
could have scored 4 goals, like 3 goals in one game or something, but it's still impressive. But
But not for that amount.
exactly, and
Not
even
for
if
85 million.
yeah,
But the reason they are going for him is that he's very sticky, very
it's very techy.
technical than Jackson.
That could
The news we're hearing is that he's a
be a
center
good
forward,
one.
but Maresca wants to use him as a winger. Like, Maresca, bro, why are you behaving like Pep 2.0? Why? Why do
I'm just
this?
tired of this Pep
Why?
ideologies. Like
Why?
no coach wants to be real.
Oh,
No coach wants to just
it makes me
everything.
sick.
Everybody wants to do false backs and
It makes me
inverted
sick. It makes me
and
sick.
and um oh ball playing centre back and all these ball playing keeper and all these
It makes
things
me
and
sick.
play
It
people out
makes
of
me sick.
positions.
To be honest, it makes
Yes,
me sick.
it's fancy, but come on, like sometimes just keep it simple. If somebody's a striker, it's just like playing Haaland as
As
a
a striker,
imagine playing Haaland as a CDM.
why would you do that? Centre back.
Exactly. So why play somebody that is a centre back? Why play him as a winger or play somebody that is a centre forward as a winger? It's so stupid sometimes. Some people
It
just have
is
better.
actually.
Some
And
people
the
just
funny
better fit a certain role.
and that's the thing that killed Nkunku in Chelsea. Like, Nkunku is not a striker. Nkunku is not a striker. Like, I don't really understand who gave him that idea that Nkunku is a striker or a forward. Nkunku is
Mhm,
actually a winger
mhm,
or a 10. And if you use him, the times that Chelsea has used him as a winger, you could see why we bought him for that amount.
mhm,
Like, very crazy. It's like when we're using Kopama on the right wing. He's not that traditional winger that is there, but he opens up defense.
mhm.
Do you get what I'm saying? And now he's leaving, right? So fine. I don't know anything Maresca wants to do. He should do. I'm actually tired. Yes,
You're tired of Maresca.
simple. You want to get a striker as Chelsea is now.
Mhm,
We've created so many chances. You just need somebody to put the ball at the back of the net. Now there's Chelsea met with Ipswich striker,
mhm,
30 million. I'm like, bro, this guy scored 12 goals. People
mhm,
are saying, oh, it's because he in a poor team as Ipswich, 12 goals is good. I'm like, 12 goals is good. Seriously. For 30 million, we are buying another Jackson. Jackson was 33 million. This one is 30 million.
mhm,
Although what I believe is, if Ipswich striker was in the position of Jackson, he could have had 25 goals. I'm serious.
mhm. That's the lap,
Because,
right?
yes. But
Mhm,
the problem is, anyways, we talk of striker putting the ball at the back of the net. The striker also needs to be in the position to score.
mhm.
We Jackson knows where to be. We had Tammy Abraham before that knew how
Yeah,
to score, but was not
yeah.
always in good position.
Mhm,
So I don't know. The lab 30 million now. They're thinking he's discussed with Newcastle, he's discussed with Chelsea, he's
mhm.
discussed with Man U, but he said he wants to play Champions League football.
The lap.
Yes, he's opening his mind. He wants to play Champions League football.
Who wouldn't want to? As a striker, who wouldn't want to?
I'm tired. If they should buy the lap and buy Bucharest, let's rest. Jackson will be a third wing, third striker.
Third striker. That's funny. No, that's crazy, man. When I know offline we're
Relax.
talking about like players and their prices and overhyping and if there should even
Too
be like
much. Too much.
a set standard on like what players should be going for or even like a cap on player value. Because I feel like anyway they can't put a cap on it because people are what for they are what, right? So um I feel like clubs will be giving overhyped prices sometimes for some of these players, and it's
That's the
quite
truth.
concerning because someone like Darwin
They
Nunes
should have
now,
a regulatory body that will
yeah.
set the value of the player like online, and clubs can refer,
See,
oh, the current market is saying this person is worth
yeah, they should have like a
based on
range,
this,
maybe like a
right?
range, maybe like a
Yeah,
range. This guy goes for this to this range.
yeah.
I don't know if there's a body that does that, but I think
It
it
will
needs to
help.
happen because there are some players that should not go for certain prices. I think certain prices just makes no sense.
The lap for 30 million is a good price. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm, mhm.
because the lap is a
And
traditional striker, like the
let's not
tradition,
forget.
right?
I was going to say let's not forget how price tag on players
Mm.
affect the players and the pressure and expectations,
Yes,
right?
it does.
Because it puts
Yeah,
a lot of pressure on them. Because someone
yeah.
like Darwin Nunes to me is a
That money was too
is a
much.
40 million striker or 50
Yeah,
million
that
striker
money
at
was too
best.
much.
But paying 90 something for him
And
Added so
that's what
much pressure.
it's the same thing with Enzo Fernandez, Benfica. Same thing they did to him. It's the same club they came from.
Yeah, it's the same club.
They like to milk the Premier League. Once they see a Premier League club for me, oh, it's 100 million. We're not talking to you. It's 100 million. Then they don't want to discuss with you. Start doing all their shenanigans, right?
Yeah. I'll go on SSV.
SSV, yeah. They start to do their shenanigans. Oh, it's 100 million. Once they see it's a Premier League club, the
Mm-hmm.
price is between 90 and 100. So
It's
it's it's kind of rubbish, right?
Yeah, it's really outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See what Ten Hag gets his boys to laugh.
I will not be surprised if Leverkusen
Please,
become very
who does
Dutch.
this remind you of?
Who, who, who does it remind
The
you of?
celebration, I think.
I don't know.
Ten Hag's former boy.
Ten Hag's from our oh, who? Anthony
Anthony, the goat
from
of
Real
Real
Betis,
Betis.
the goat of Real
They
Betis.
actually call him the goat. I thought it was a joke.
He's goated, man. He's goated.
Oh my god, yeah.
In Real Betis, he's goated. No, but
His
Anthony
you
is
watch his
a
last
legend.
game. You watch the highlights of his last game.
I've
Oh
seen
my
some of
god.
his performances of
That guy
recent
is
times.
cooking. Like
He actually
he's
is.
like little Messi. I'm like, serious.
He actually no, this guy is scoring free kicks.
Oh
He's
my
scoring
god.
goals. He's fast on the wings. He's doing crazy things. You're going to see Anthony Lisandro Martinez delete soon.
You take all his
If
men.
they give him a chance to sign players, he's just going to sign
No, but I don't think
all his boys
Leverkusen
from
will fall into
Ajax.
that trap again.
All his
They
boys from
won't,
Ajax.
they won't do that. I
But I
don't
think it
see
will be
them.
refreshing to see Ten Hag attempt to play his style of play, right? Because we talked about this on the stream, like maybe yesterday or even 2 days ago. Like Ten Hag has not really
He's
played
not being
his
himself.
he has not really done his style of play. And when he starts
Yeah.
actually playing, then we can judge that okay. Because felt like at Man U, it was more
The
management,
and
maintenance
the
mode.
press did not give him
Yeah, I'm
anything.
trying to just
Yeah.
salvage things. Things are going crazy, sit back and
The
defend.
press
Like
did not
you know,
give him time to settle. And it started from that Brentford game.
immediately they Brentford
Five
beat Man U.
zero.
Was it 5-0?
It was five. I think it was five.
I don't think it
Right?
was 5. Really?
So
But yeah,
check.
they lost. They
But
lost.
but
They
that
lost the
but
game.
that's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
we never can tell. You have that. Now you have Amorim too. Same thing, same problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what will happen. But to me, players are just too the prices on players are too much.
Mm-hmm.
Too
Mm-hmm.
much. Waits for 100 million. Is he 100 million player? He's not.
You don't think he's
He's not. Like the days where we talked about 100 million. Do you know what 100 million is? The money has no value anymore. Yes. Kisley, why are you laughing? 7 years ago, or even 8 years ago, when you
mm-hmm.
talked of 100 million, you were talking about the people that actually started spoiling football was Barca.
Mm.
When they started signing people in those times, maybe 15 years ago, they started signing people for 100 and they signed a Coutinho for 100 and something million. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from
They signed
Liverpool,
I
right?
think they signed like two people for 100 and something million,
Mm-hmm.
if you remember, right? So they started spoiling football. Then Messi's price tag was 150 million, right? And you talk of now, imagine that is Messi. Now is very
Yeah, they
cheap. Then
signed Philip Coutinho's transfer to Barcelona in January 2018, cost
yeah,
Liverpool approximately wait, his transfer to Barcelona, it was 142 million.
imagine
Yeah.
euros, 142 million euros. That was 7 years ago. Seven.
Yeah, but then he joined Aston Villa in
And you
2022
talk
for like 17 million.
of Atletico Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Talk of Atletico Madrid that they signed. Who did they sign for 100 or something? There's someone they signed Felix.
Mm-hmm.
They signed Felix from the
I
same
see what you're saying. Like it almost feels like
for 100 and something million.
100 million doesn't really mean much these days.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
if you're a striker that can give you can give like 20 to how many goals a season, you're probably going to be signing. They're signing you for over 100 million.
You are a striker. You should be bang, and they called your price tag 100 million. You should have a minimum. You have a terrible
But
season
let,
like
but
Haaland
let's
did,
but let's take a look at
85
Florian though.
goals.
Let's take a look at Florian and see what his stats are to see if he's really worth this 100 million, because it feels like, let's not be hating on the player if he's actually really good. All right. So this season, he scored 19 goals and
Not bad.
he had 18 assists.
18.
Yeah.
That shows
And
is like a 10, right?
yeah, 51. He has 51. He played had 51 appearances. He's an attacking he's a midfielder.
That's it.
He's not a
For a
striker. He's not a
midfielder,
striker.
for a midfielder, that's
That's really
excellent.
good. But you know what? Let's compare him to the attacking midfielders that we even have in Liverpool. Because the attacking midfielder we have in Liverpool will be Soboslai or Curtis
Dust,
Jones
dust,
or let's say maybe
dust.
McAllister playing attacking midfielder. Right? Let's pick who actually really plays attacking midfielder, and that's
Soboslai.
Soboslai. Right? If we compare him to Soboslai, let's
Soboslai will
see.
not have more than 10 goals. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
just it's same thing SSB is saying. Like
Mm.
that's what is bringing up this argument,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
We saw
Dominic
it
Soboslai,
Ikiteke
yeah.
to Chelsea for 100 million. I'm like, who the hell is this Hugo Ikiteke? Chelsea are just
Yeah.
being, that's what I'm saying. Chelsea are just being stupid all over again. You qualify
Mhm.
for the Champions League, you disgraced everyone with the band, the dance in the dressing room, like you won
Mm.
a trophy. You saw the this scene. Na
Oh, yeah.
lira, na lura. They were all dancing
Oh,
like they
because they
won
got to
Champions
Champions
League.
League.
The only person that didn't dance was just Rich James.
Mm.
Obviously, the Champions League winner, he's a senior man. Do you
Yeah,
get?
let the boys feel excited. But if you compare the two players, honestly,
Yeah.
Soboslai and Florian, right?
Mm,
This season, Florian has 19 goals,
mm,
right? 18 assists in
mm,
51 games, right?
mm,
Even also played Champions League, did across all competitions. And Soboslai across all competitions, 57 appearances. He has
mm.
11 goals and 8 assists.
Poor.
So,
Like I said, poor.
and they both played the same thing. And even if you compare them the season before, right? If you compare them the season before,
Mm,
Florian had 60 appearances. He scored 21 goals. He had
mm.
19 assists.
Assist.
He has a lot of assists. And the season before,
Mm,
Soboslai played 55 games. He
mm.
had 10 goals and 6 assists. So I don't know if the Prem is harder, but it's
Yeah.
just Florian just
So
has more stats when it
yeah,
comes to
yeah.
that
So,
role.
and that's what SSB is saying. SSB is saying first Neymar to PSG, then Mbappe to PSG, then after yeah,
After Barca's stupidity, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think Baka were the first people to
Mm-hmm.
destroy football. Then PSG followed.
Mm.
PSG followed.
How much was Neymar to PSG in initial days?
I don't know, was 130 something million. If I remember, should be
Oh
100.
my days! Wait, is this correct?
What's the price?
Wait, this cannot be real. 220 million euros. Is that how much they signed Neymar?
My God.
A world record transfer fee of 220 million euros. Is
That's
this
how much they
is this
signed Neymar.
true? Wow, that's crazy. Neymar's transfer fee to Paris Saint-Germain in 2017 was a record-breaking deal, costing the French club 222
So,
million
yeah,
euros.
222 million
Yeah, this
euros.
fee paid to Barcelona made him the most expensive footballer in history and sparked significant discussions about the rising cost of football transfers. The deal was
That's
finalized
do you know what
August 3rd, 2015.
do
Yeah.
you know what 222 million is?
How much
222
how much is 222 million euros in
in
pounds?
pounds. Check it. But Kingsley, 222 million euros means Neymar should come to PSG and win them the Champions League. They should have that 100 million in their pockets as far as Neymar is in their side,
That's like
right?
signing him for 186 million
Pound.
pounds.
Imagine.
That's
So what
high.
that means is that as he comes to the club, he should not just forget about that their league. He
That's
should come in,
high.
win the Champions League, get that 100 million with all the costs. Then they've paid off that. But Nothing,
Yeah, 222 million
right?
euros, man. It's
Anyway, they got to
crazy.
the final. They didn't win, right? They were
Wow.
close.
And Mbappe to PSG was how much?
Yeah, you search that. I don't know.
Mbappe to
Yeah,
PSG.
SSB saying um this is this is part of the reason why Spanish and
Wow.
Italian clubs are broke. Yeah,
Mbappe to PSG is 180 million euros. That's how much they signed him.
that
And
that's
and
even
I know the
that's
funny
even
thing,
too much.
Mbappe went to Real Madrid for free.
That's
Real
wickedness.
Madrid, they are signing people for free.
Wickedness.
They are signing people for free. You understand? It's crazy. First, Chelsea came with Roman and Splash. Then years later, Man City and PSG. How do you feel with a nation-backed club? Or how do you compete with a nation-backed club? How do you compete with a nation-backed?
It's hard.
It's
To be
crazy.
honest, it's
No,
hard.
but fees are so it's so outrageous. It's so outrageous. Some of these
Okay?
players are not worth this money.
That's what
They're
I'm
not.
saying. The thing is, the
Absolutely
thing
not.
that pains me. The
Mm.
thing that pains me. Most of these clubs in Europe, once they see a Premier League club, oh, it's 100 million. That's the name. They don't even want to think and reason.
The expectation is that they
Imagine
have the
you,
money. They'll be able
imagine
to pay
you
for
go
it.
Ekiteke. They gave someone in their club,
Mm.
Stuttgart. I think it's from Stuttgart. Gave is it from Stuttgart? I've forgotten the name of the club in Germany.
No, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, sorry. Gave a quote and said this guy is worth 85 million pounds, 100 million euro. I'm like, bro, serious? Are you serious? Because it's Chelsea. That's why the amount now is.
He says because it's Chelsea. Think of it, Salah came from Serie A, would have left. Salah came from Serie A. Would he have left Serie A in the
In the
90s and 2000?
90s.
KDB would have
Yeah.
been at Real Madrid right now instead of Man City. Yeah,
Yes, that's it. True.
yeah,
Because those times, Italy, like Italian football was there was a bit of magic then.
yeah.
Where you had Kaka was still in AC Milan then.
Kaka.
You had Ancelotti. You had men in Italy. You wanted to watch Italian football because of the passion. I wish Austin is on the live. He can tell you about Italian football because he's an AC Milan fan.
Yeah.
These
It's
are
so
people that were
strange.
broken.
It's so strange to be
They
an
were
AC
broke.
Milan fan.
Yes, they were broken by the downfall of he followed AC Milan from the 90s. Like
AC
hard,
Milan.
yes. Austin is a hardline AC Milan fan, right? But now
It's
Italy,
interesting, yeah.
anyways, you have Conte now that is still you have the competition between Conte and Inzaghi
Mm-hmm.
that really got people's interest. Oh, something is happening there. Inter is in the Champions League final now. If not for those two guys, we're not
Mm.
hearing anything about Italy. Where is Juventus? Where is AC Milan? AC Milan, they were terrible last season. They got to the Champions League, mediocre performance,
That's
right?
crazy. That's really crazy.
And what I wish and we all want Inter Milan to win.
Mm-hmm. Say all the
After
best
Inter,
players used to play in La Liga or Serie A. Now they have no money. They didn't expect the EPL to rise and oil money clubs coming in. Yeah, I think all the oil money clubs coming into the EPL, especially those guys that have money. I mean, the Nottingham Forest owner looks like he's into oil.
funny thing I read about him is worth 5 billion, and he
Oh, he's
uses
worth 5
guess what
billion.
iPhone he uses?
What?
Just guess.
6, iPhone 6.
iPhone 7.
Well, he doesn't need
It
it, right?
doesn't mean it. That's what I'm
He
saying. People were like, "Oh, how is it this rich and he's using iPhone 7?"
he
Like,
doesn't
who
care
cares?
as long as he can call.
He uses the phone to call. He's not. What is it on any app, Instagram or any when he's not Donald
I
Trump?
don't think he cares. So remember Valencia used to go to UCL
Yes,
finals.
you remember?
Damn.
You're gone. Where is Valencia now?
I mean,
We
they're
don't
still
even
with it.
hear of Valencia
I think it's
anymore.
also like you have to look at like these clubs, to stay relevant
Part,
as a club. You also have
yeah,
to make sure you are attracting talent.
part of the people that destroyed Valencia is this
Mm-hmm.
useless pundit that was then denied entry into Nottingham Forest. Um, Gary Neville.
Really?
He was coach of Valencia, if I'm not wrong or right.
Gary Neville.
Yes, Gary Neville was coach of Valencia, that he could not even win a game. He's not meant to be a pundit. He has no right to talk.
No, but some people they can talk, but they just can't coach.
That's it. They talk. Marenakas.
Oh, you're right. Oh, he
He
coached.
could not win a
Sorry,
single
he was
game.
he coached Valencia, and then he was also an assistant coach of the English team, like the
Nonsense.
England
He has
team
no coach. Like
from 2012 to 2016. He coached
this guy
Valencia from
almost
2015 to
relegated
2016.
them. This guy almost relegated them.
Oh my days.
Yes. So it's that effect is still. When did he coach Valencia? How many years ago?
2015, 2016.
Till then,
That's like 10
they've
years
not
ago.
recovered. SSB is laughing. They've not recovered since then. Because they were
Wow.
before he took over, they were fourth or something. Gary Neville carried his big head there. Out of 15 games, maybe you won only one
Yeah.
game. One game, and you're a manager.
Wow.
As a player, he was average.
Wow.
And
As
then
a player, it was
he
okay.
was average. He was average. SSB say he came with British charm and
And he
food.
fooled them.
You know the funny thing, remember then when he was always at him and Mourinho, there was one spat between them, and you know what Mourinho told him? He said, when you
Mm.
become a manager and you know how it is to manage, then you come and talk to me. We can talk. For now,
Because the job is not
the
easy.
next year, he went and became a manager. He could not win a single game. Maybe one game. I think it's one game.
Was it really that bad?
Check his record. It
Let's
was
check
bad. His
let's
record
check
was
his
bad.
record.
His record was bad.
Oh
You understand?
wow.
After that, what happened? He came back to England and got a
Yeah.
job with Sky Sports.
Yeah,
And
it became a point.
till now, he's still talking rubbish. Him and
That's crazy.
it was the other guy that was in Liverpool. That one too was an average defender, but he'll be opening
Yeah.
up his mouth. Which
So he was actually a technical coach at United, and then he became assistant manager in England,
technical coach?
and
What year
then
was he technical coach?
he actually owns the club. You know, he owns the club. Southport, or what's this club called? I don't know what this club is
Salford.
called. Yeah,
Him
but
and there's another player that
oh,
owns the club.
he was in charge of Valencia for like 28 matches, I think.
How many did he win?
That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out how
The
many he
guy
won.
destroyed Kingsley. It was that
Oh,
bad
oh, there's
that
a,
everybody in the Premier League was begging Valencia, please sack this guy. Please sack him for our
wow,
sake. He's our son. But please just sack him. Let him come home.
wow. He lost a lot of games. The first game he played the first game, Olympic Lyon,
Mm.
4-3-3 attacking. He lost. I think he lost that game. He drew his next game. He won a game. He drew. He lost. He drew. He won. He lost. He
He
won.
lost.
He drew. He drew. He drew. He won. He lost. He lost. He lost 7-0 to Barcelona.
That's it. It
He
was
was even,
bad.
playing 4-2-3-1. He lost 7-0, 4-2-3-1. And then he lost the next one after. Then he drew to Barcelona. Then it wasn't too bad, but it was really bad. A lot of
It
draws and
was
losses.
bad.
There was a lot of draws and losses for sure. After
I
those
think
22
before they
games,
sacked him, he had like maybe six straight losses or something like that. Check it.
he had 1, 2, 3, 4. I think
Especially
when
in
he
the
started, he
league.
had yeah, he was losing. He was losing. He was losing.
So that's
He was
what I'm
losing.
saying. He ruined, but at the same time,
Hmm.
like SSB is saying, gone are those days,
Yeah,
right? Now football is all about money. You have somebody that does one
it
little
is.
street dribble.
I think football is all about like hype, money, brand deals. It's now more like people are playing for it's almost like the guys that are playing are more like entertainers and content creators than
Have footballers.
they are footballers playing for the badge. To be honest, it feels that way, but it might not be that way because we are just the ones
And
watching it. But
that's
it
why
feels
you
that way
see,
sometimes.
and that's what
It's more around the things surrounding them than actual the in-game. What are you putting on the
Yes,
line? You know.
and that's one thing. I know everybody criticized Chelsea,
Mm-hmm.
right? But one of the good things these new owners did,
Mm-hmm.
right, was when they came in, they said, no, everybody, you want to, it's football you are here for. It will be performance based. We will tie your
Yeah.
life down on 10-year, 9 to 10 year contracts,
Yeah.
right? 9 year they started with 7. People say, hey, it's too much. Then they went to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Kopama's own is 11. How many years?
Yeah.
No, sorry, Enzo Fernandez is the 2033.
Yeah.
This guy will be an elder before he's be released of his shackles, right?
Mm-hmm. But he
How
can
much?
always leave. He can always leave if he wants to.
Yes, but they put a salary cap,
Mm-hmm.
right? You are not any more than 200,000. You, in fact, you will start from the bottom and you have to go up. You start from 120.
It's merit based now.
Yes, you start from 120. You have goals each game, assists,
Mm.
goes to 150. It's performance
But
based,
but
right?
another take. Should Osimhen not have just taken the Chelsea deal?
That's it. So
Like would that not have given him more exposure than going to Galatasaray?
they gave him even goal incentive and all this thing to take it to 200 and something. He
Yeah.
refused.
Because I just feel like that would have given him
Yeah.
more. That would have given him
You
more
don't expect them
exposure.
to pay you if you are injured. And that was the thing they were concerned about. The injury.
Mm-hmm.
The injury was one of the concerns. And that's the thing now. The squad is young, they are together. You see that the passion is coming inside. You see them, see Cucurella playing football. You see Enzo playing. Enzo now is playing for, they are playing for the badge. You are seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? When they score,
Loki, like
it
clubs
means
like
something to
yeah,
them. The money
because
is
yeah,
not,
because it's money. It's not just that. It's money.
yes. And that's why they
Yeah,
will
it's
not sign
incentive.
Jadon Sancho. Because Sancho is from a spoils tree. We're going
Yeah.
to go to SSB's comment now. Sancho is from a spoils tree, 300 and something, 200 and something. They don't work hard. They believe
Mm-hmm.
we should be earning 200. Brother, if Chelsea is to agree to sign Sancho, how much do you think they will pay him based on merits?
Maybe like
Kopama is earning like, check what Kopama is earning. I think Kopama is earning like 150 now.
150. Then Sancho be earning less than that.
That's
And
what I'm
I don't
saying.
even think he will take the deal either.
Yes. So
Mm.
that's the main reason, right? Sancho will be earning like 100 based on his performance. So that's why Chelsea.
Kopama, let me see how much was
So
Kopama making. He earns £130, 130k pounds weekly.
and they just gave him a better contract. It was less than that before.
Wow.
Caicedo, they just want to renew Caicedo's contract.
Oh, they want to improve it
Yeah,
because of
so
his performance.
check how much Caicedo is earning with all the thing he did this season. Check how much he's earning. SSB said, he said, what is it with these Manchester United former players wanting to be managers and not being very good at it?
Caicedo gets
Maybe Oli,
150. 150.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's worth it.
Wow, 150 is a lot of money.
Yeah, but
Which translates to a yearly salary of £7.8 million.
yes, they want to extend that
And it
contract.
significantly increased when he joined Chelsea. Wow. And they
Yes,
want to. Wow.
he
Brighton, you
deserves
know how
it.
much Brighton were paying him? 60k. Brighton.
Screaming,
Those
screaming,
guys.
screaming. They are touts.
Wow.
Right? They are touts.
Wow. 60k. Wow, that's crazy. That's
SSB
crazy.
is saying that why is it that ex Manchester United players they want to be managers, but they are not good at it?
Neville,
It's
Ole,
Kingsley
Rooney,
is
Van
simple.
Nistelrooy.
They were under Sir Alex. Half of his
And
tactics was referee in his pockets.
and it's outdated, to be honest.
Outdated with
But it also like
plus
who are they learning under? Because it feels like all the coaches I know that are top coaches, they had a period where they learned under
under
somebody
someone.
exceptional.
Yeah.
Like you can see, like Pep. Honestly, Pep's boys are doing well. Believe it or
And
not, both
Pep
of them.
and Mourinho lent
Mm-hmm.
under
Cruyff, it's not Cruyff.
yes, Cruyff. Johan Cruyff, right?
I think so. I think they learned under Cruyff, right? Yeah, yeah, I think
Was
so.
it Cruyff they lent under?
I know they were together.
They lent under the same person,
They learned under the same person, yeah. And
right?
then actually, the people that learned under Pep, They are all
Mm.
going. They are all in the Champions League.
Be-
I know we banter
Wait,
Ateta, but
serious?
yes,
Who are the
Maresca and
people?
Ateta,
Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true.
they are both in the Champions League.
Even Eric Ten Hag lent on that Pep. I hope you know.
Oh, Ten Hag lent on that Pep.
Yes, I read that one online. He lent on. You can check it. You
It's
can
not,
fact
and it
check that.
wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It's just that he sucked at signing players, and Man U was not a good fit for him.
Neville terrible as a manager. Rooney is the worst. Rooney
Van
is the
Nistelrooy,
worst.
Van Nistelrooy was, I don't know. Is he okay? Is he good?
That's
Is he bad?
that's that squad. You know,
Van
people will
Nistelrooy
say,
with
"Oh,
Leicester.
you know what? You see, Leicester they got what they deserve
Mm,
because when Maresca got them promoted, they were just bantering him. Half of their squad fans hated him. Oh, terrible football. This man just brought you from the Premier League, from Championship up,
to the Prem.
gave everybody in the Championship gap. I know that he crumbled a bit then, but he was still learning. Even at Chelsea, half of the season, all those time he was losing, he's changed his style of play now. When he needed result, what did he do? He reversed. We saw the Mourinho in him. Defend, boys, defend. Result is just all we need. Results. Forget all this playing out of the back. Sanchez long. He went to the basis. Forgot all those things Pep taught him. The Italian nature in him came out. He's
Yeah.
an Italian manager, right? But
Mhm.
let's forget all those ones. All these guys they mentioned now, I don't think they have any. Who did Neville learn under? Neville is just talk. He knows how to talk. Oli still had something under his belt. Rooney
Mhm.
zero. Do you get? Lampard is now doing well, right?
At Coventry.
Yes, but he's doing well out of all those guys in his set, right? All these
Yeah.
Rooney them. He's doing well,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, but the rest of them no good. Sex Fabregas is doing well in Como, right?
Mhm.
Sex
Yeah.
Fabregas is doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But let's talk about the last thing. Rashford for Rashford for 40 mil. Um, what are you thinking? Man, you keep Rashford, sell Rashford. I know they have most likely he will leave, but
40
for
million. Who is
40
going to buy
million,
Rashford for 40
do you
million?
think that that's too expensive?
That's too much for Rashford.
How much should Rashford be going for?
And remember that Rashford is on 300 and something.
But how much will you sell Rashford for?
If you tell me to buy Rashford, I go to the market and I want to buy Rashford.
Mhm.
My starting price is from 22 million first.
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely
Then
not.
we will now end up around maybe 30 plus 5 million add-on.
Ah, come on.
That's the best I'm paying
Come
for
on.
Rashford.
Really?
Yes,
Nah,
Rashford is washed up.
nah, come on. No, 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 no. Rashford is
Rather than
techie.
spend 40
He
million
can
on Rashford,
dribble.
rather than spend
The
40
problem with
million,
Rashford is an attitude problem. It's not
which is worse than any other thing. How do you solve an attitude problem? If it's a training problem, you can create a training regime. If it's an attitude problem, how do
and
you solve
it was
that?
not even like attitude problem. It was just more he's going to the club and you
Yeah,
don't like that. He's doing this, you don't like that. Sure. But
yeah.
Rashford is a very good player, right? He's a good winger. I think that price is decent and is fair. I think it's not too bad. Yeah. But anyways, we're getting close to the hour. Let's wrap up the stream with our final thoughts.
Yeah, so like SSB said, he said Rashford to Barca if they don't get Luis Diaz for 85 million. Yeah, maybe Rashford might fit into Barca. He might go there and succeed.
Yeah, he possibly might go there and succeed. But yeah, but what are your final thoughts though? What are your final thoughts?
Um, Final thoughts. I think these days transfer fees are just they are too much, and the
Mm-hmm.
players are worth nothing. This
Mm-hmm.
Ekiteki they are talking about maximum
Mm-hmm.
from Ekiteke maybe 50 million. He's not worth
Okay.
more than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not worth more than. To be honest with you, he's not better than Isaac.
Fair.
Although when Newcastle went to buy Isak, when they quote, I don't know how much they quoted for Isak, 70 something million
Mm-hmm.
pounds. Everybody shouted, "Oh, it's too expensive. He's too this." Maybe they saw something there
Mm.
and they bought him. Maybe it's going to. I don't think it's going to be the same thing for Chelsea, because Chelsea, they don't carry their eyes to market, so it's just going to be a wasted money. That's
Mm-hmm.
my own. Players now are just overrated and expensive. That's it. And Ten Hag, I hope he succeeds. We see what happens, right?
Yeah.
He said Wits for was 100 million today accepted. Ekitegi is no way at all. The guy is not even worth half of that amount. He's not worth half of that amount.
Mm. How old is Ekiteke? Ekiteke is 22 years old. Sobosla is 24 and Florian is 22. I see. Okay, Florian is 22. Okay, that makes sense because I was trying to understand that why
That
would
they
they
pay
want
him.
to spend that
And they
much?
are going to
I
give
think
him
it makes
7 year
sense.
contract.
Of course, that makes a lot of sense to
7.
sign Florian, 22 years old. He's going to give you some years.
But it's
It's,
7 years
it's
you guys want to give him.
yeah, he's coming into his prime, right? It's coming into his prime. So somebody's already like having this many assists because he has so many assists even compared to goals.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
really
yeah.
doing that attacking
Great.
midfielder role very, very well. So,
I heard about that too.
oh, Bayern wants Gakpo. I think
Yeah,
Gakpo
I
goes
heard
into
about
Bayern.
that.
I think Gakpo goes into Bayern and starts because Gakpo is a solid left winger. Is a solid left winger. But anyways, my final thoughts. I think players in general are overhyped. um and there's just so much noise and people have found a way, especially I think the problem comes from the agents of these players more
The
than
agents
even
are criminals.
if not that. Yeah, the agents are criminals because they know. I don't know how the agents get paid in football if they get a cut of the fee,
They give them a
but
cut. It's just like
but
when you
I
sell
think
real estate.
yeah, but I think these agents of these
Thieves,
athletes are
thieves.
they are over pricing and making sure they are just inflating the prices a little bit more, right? So
Mm.
that they can get something out of it. It's just the nature of how football is these days.
Nature of the
Players are
beast.
It's the nature of the business. Players are just overhyped. But I am really curious going to next season to see how Ten Hag will perform at
Yeah,
Leverkusen because it will reveal a lot to us about Man U, his time at Man U, and who he is as a coach. Because I feel his time at Man U kind of put a
yeah,
bad cloud around his time at Ajax. It's almost like people look like, hey, you came for Ajax, but you didn't do anything in the
yeah,
league, right? But I think it's just the club he went to because and his slot came from the same league that Ten Hag was in. He was given a decent team and he was able to bring something out. Although these are two different managers, two different style of plays, but
mm,
I still feel like this is a chance for us to see how far Ten Hag can go, right? And when we look at signings this summer, especially for Liverpool.
yeah.
Liverpool, they are making moves. Keke's Frimpong deal is done. Kekes is in that conversation. Florian, that'll probably be done soon. All these players coming in, I think it will be a very, very exciting season.
Yes, Leverkusen
Yeah,
is in UCL next year. They
yeah.
are.
Leverkusen, they finished like what second in the league or
I
third?
think he finished second. Yeah.
Second in the league. Yeah, it was still not a bad season for Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen. To be honest, I think Xabi Alonso did a very good job with them. So let's see what happens moving forward. I feel let's see what happens moving forward.
Okay.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining the stream. SSV, big shout out to you as always. Thank you for always joining our stream. Same with
Dorcas.
the other folks on stream, Jordan. I appreciate you too as
Dorcas.
well.
Yeah.
All right, you guys remember we're streaming every single day. Every single day we're here, 5:30 CST, all the way to like 6:30 CST. Come around that timeline, that window, you find us live streaming. All
Yeah.
right, we'll see you guys
We'll
tomorrow as
see it.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good one.